Hi, my name's Martin, and today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different to the tutorial videos that I've been creating recently. Many of you have noticed that I've taken a break from producing the OpenInsight Quick Start Guide video series, and you've been asking me why I've taken that break and when they're going to be finished. Well, the simple reason is that I've been building a new content management system for myself within OpenInsight. This was initially to road test the 9.2 release, and also to result in a system that was built using our own application development tools, something that was really well overdue anyway. Mentioning no names, I've been using a mid-market system from one of the leading CRM suppliers, and whilst not 100% compatible for my working practices, it did the job adequately with a little lateral thinking and some manipulation to the application itself. They then moved from a pervasive database to a SQL-based system, and the cost to support my need rocketed from a couple of £100 to several £1,000s. For a single user, I considered this to be pretty outrageous, and I found that the advice to split my database and other similar workarounds was really untenable. Why the forced move? Well, that was all down to an upgrade on my laptop to Windows 7. And the supplier only supporting the latest version on the Windows operating system, and clearly I wanted to stay on a supported copy of their software. So I took a look around at quick fix options and settled on an Outlook plugin. However, following a need to rebuild my system several times in as many months, each time taking about a day, I began to lose faith in that system, and then I bit the bullet and built my own system using OpenInsight. This video is therefore a quick overview of my system, and hopefully it's going to serve as a great example of what a non or now novice developer can achieve using Revelation's OpenInsight toolset. I should point out that I've had no formal OpenInsight or application development training, and when I started this project I could not write a single line of code for myself. I'm now a fairly good code jockey, at least that's what my colleagues at Spreads regard me as, and I can now write very tiny routines, sort of 10 or 15 lines long, but I still consider myself to be a hobbyist at best. Whilst I had a fairly good idea of how I wanted the system to work and how it would fit together, I did not undertake any application modeling, data modeling, or any normalization of the database at all. Instead, I just jumped right in and let the system evolve as I went along. And it continues to evolve now, even though at the moment it's far from complete. Creating a system in this way is a testament to the power of OpenInsight, its ease of use, and the forgiving nature of the technology, especially when you want to include something new. There's no rewrites, no re-engineering. You just get on and build what you need, and it can very much evolve with the way that you work. Please remember that this system has been built by a novice, and as such Windows development standards and best practice have not necessarily been followed, so bear that in mind while you're watching this. That said, let's take a look at what can be achieved by a novice who is new to OpenInsight in around about 75 hours, give or take a couple of hours either side. However, I should point out that I only use the technical resources that are readily available to any OIWorks subscriber, plus a couple of hours with one of the professional developers at Spreads, and I'd like to thank Aaron for his help in the car on the way back to Northampton from London for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and run up the application. When I first run up the app, I've got a little window here that's just checking for some license information. If you haven't got the license information already in, then it will prompt you to fill in these prompts and save them to the database. If you've already got yourself set up on the system, then you can just confirm that you are the registered licensee. Alternatively, you can view the license that I've got within the system here. So let's confirm and open up RATS. This is the Revelation Account Tracking System. Okay, when we first come in, we've got a basic MDI frame with a menu and some buttons. I'm populating the interface with an image because I got fed up with just the grey image, and I can refresh that with the button down the bottom here. So it's a nice one of the harbour down in Sydney. I've got a menu here, and off the file menu I can import a file using OpenInsight's ASCII import routine, and I can also exit out of the system. I've got a search facility which is coming. It's not in there at the moment, and I can also launch TCL if I want to using F5, and in here I can capture some of my statements and bits and pieces, so TCL is exposed. I've also then got access to all of the windows within the application, and I've also got help. So under help I've got about, very quick and easy, Revelation Account Tracking System version 1. I've also got the README so that people can see how the application has changed. Now I should point out that these are OpenInsight forms. This is an OpenInsight form with an OLay control, and that's basically rendering an HTML page. So a very easy way of producing that sort of information. I've also got, or will have, the ability to create some help. Now this is the help system from one of my other applications, because I haven't built the help system for this application as yet, but this is the type of look and feel that it will have. Again, very simple. These are just HTML pages, and the user will be able just to navigate around those as they want to. So that's the file menu for the main part of the application, and then off of there you've got access to pretty much all of the main content of the application. The idea is that each entity or contact or whatever is either a company, a contact, or an opportunity, and all of those can be interlinked with each other, and that's the basis for the system. So if we go into the companies, we get a grid of all of the companies in my system, and if I want to find a company, then I can just put a partial string in there. I can then either hit the button or just hit return. Try to keep it as easy as possible, and then that returns a number of companies with REVE in them. I can go ahead and add a new company if I want to, or I can go ahead in here and I can look up a new company. So I could do a search for Revelation next, and let's find Revelation Software Limited. So I can just return that data, and I can see all of the contacts within that company. I can launch their record by double clicking underneath the ID. So it's running up Bill. I can also drop him an email by clicking the email button, or I can just double click on the highlight, the blue underlined text here, and that will go away, and that will run up my email client so that I could send an email to Bill if I wanted to. Okay, don't want to do that right now, so it's just come out of there. I can also refresh that data grid if I want to bring all of the data back. Contacts works exactly the same way. I've got quite a few in here, so it takes just a moment to load. Again, I can do a search. So if I do a search for my name, and then I can just double click to open up that record, and you can see in here I've got contact details, any general notes, any communications, and any opportunities against me. Clearly I'm not going to have any opportunities for me within this system. If I did, they would show there, and I can double click here to email out. With the opportunities, again, it's another grid, so I can see all of the opportunities that are in the system. I can then filter those, so I can see all of the opportunities that are in progress at the moment. I can see all of the opportunities for a particular company. If I just come down to Sprezzatura, I can see all of the opportunities with that particular organization. And again, I can click on the Add New button, and I can add in a new opportunity in here if I want to, or I can double click. Let's just use this one here, and I can see that this was works renewals, and there were 2 of them, and I can add new products into here if I want to. So I could go in here and add a 250 user license. I have one of those, and then that adds into the system here. At the moment this doesn't calculate, but if I was to save that, and if I bring back 282, then you'll see that all those figures have been updated. Now it's not mess up my data, so what we'll do is we'll remove that, and we'll just save that away.